Hello and welcome to the Portrait Guy podcast with me, Guy Lloyd. This is a podcast recorded in front of a live audience where myself and a very special guest will chat whilst painting each other's portrait. About halfway through, we'll do a self-portrait, and at the end of the year, we'll auction those off for charity. On this episode, I chat to comedian Paul Foot. Welcome, Paul Foot.
Oh, hi, Guy.
How are you?
Oh, I'm all right, thank you. I hope you are all right.
I am, thank you. Yeah, you've had a lot of food, haven't you? You're feeling in
I
the
had a
mood.
meal earlier.
Yeah. Are
Yeah.
you feeling in the mood for art?
No,
No.
not at all, because I had a very nice meal, lovely flavours, but very filling.
Yeah.
So the last thing one wants before an art session is too much food.
Yeah.
So I feel completely not in the mood for any kind of art session. And
Yeah.
also, specifically, I don't feel in the mood for an art session based around a podcast.
Okay.
It's the last thing one needs after we've had a heavy meal.
Yeah.
The last thing you need is to be sitting in a rather, you said it's relaxed. Oh, you said it's all very relaxed and
Yeah.
informal.
Yeah.
There's nothing relaxed about sitting sort of at a strange angle to an audience who are sort of in a separate room, sort of looking at us through doors, and then I've got an easel in front of me with paper, and I can't see the paper because I've got a microphone in front of me. And then I'm sort of looking at it at a funny angle.
Yeah.
And then I'm seeing the audience, and it's just very weird.
Yeah.
And very disorientating, really. So I mostly feel, well, the last thing I want to be doing is this podcast. But I feel very, I don't know what's happening, I don't feel right, I feel my whole body feels at the wrong angle.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here, it's very relaxed. I'm just sitting across the table having a chat.
Yeah.
What kind of chats do people have where they have two easels between them and two microphones, and then I hope they don't want me saying this, but a weird group of people looking at you.
Yeah.
What sort of not chat is that? It's not chat, is it? It's more like Nuremberg trials, but without the justice.
Yeah.
With justice, it's like a kangaroo court. it's the East Sussex kangaroo court.
Yeah.
It's just me talking to you with people sitting there in judgment, looking at me.
Yeah.
Like the judges of I feel like one of the witches of Salem, and I've been put on trial, and I don't have a real chance because everyone's made their mind up already.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, he's accused of witchcraft. I feel terrible.
Yeah.
I feel I'm feeling all sorts of emotions now. I'm feeling not just emotions, but I'm connecting with people from the past, historical figures.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to empathise with how they felt. Joan of Arc is one of them.
Yeah.
I'm feeling what Joan of Arc felt, when she was quite unfairly burnt at the stake for, what was it for? I don't know. Can't remember why they did it. Just nastiness.
Yeah.
Anne Boleyn. Yes, admittedly, she'd overplayed her hand slightly, but she didn't deserve to have her head chopped off like that.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I've made some decisions that were the wrong decisions that have led me to sitting in this room with other people in a separate room, separate but sort of connected, sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of talking to you in a relaxed way across a desk. Yeah, lots of decisions. My whole life has led to this point. And yes, it's easy to sit there judging, and that's exactly what they're doing, judging.
Yeah.
Oh, how come, what you're doing there, Paul, and all that.
Yeah.
But, it makes me think what someone like, Prince Albert, that night he died.
Yeah.
When he went out to go and get little Bertie, he was called, wasn't he? He became Edward VII. Little Bertie, and he wasn't well, and he went out in the cold to get him, sort of thing. And then caught a cold himself. He died. I feel like that. I feel like I'm sacrificing myself for the happiness of others. I feel like I am very much the Prince Albert of the comedy world, and the audience is like the King Edward the Seventh.
Okay.
King Edward the Seventh of the comedy world.
Yeah.
They are going to come follow me. They're going to, once I'm gone, they will be taking my footsteps, taking my mantle up, but not for long, only for about 9 years.
Okay.
Then they'll be taken over by King George V for ages.
Yeah.
So they're short-lived. They sit there laughing. Oh, it's all fun, but they won't be long. They're the short-lived comedy audience. They'll be replaced by other audiences that will last longer.
Yeah.
And then, of course, King George V's son, Edward VIII, of course, that was a disaster, the abdication. So this audience here, they're not the audience that follows them, but the audience that follows that audience. They will abdicate. They won't even be a proper audience. They'll only be there for a short time, and then they'll just shirk their responsibilities. So, perhaps the audience now feels a bit less proud of themselves, realising they're sort of, symbolically speaking, figuratively, the grandparent of a shirker. So that's how I feel.
Okay. So, thanks for coming, everyone, and we'll see you. Are you ready to choose a medium?
Oh, yes, choose a medium. Yes, that was the preamble.
That was the
little chat. Just
decide what medium we're going to do.
Oh, yeah, what medium shall we start with this portrait?
This is a portrait, so you've got to paint or draw me. What are you going for? What is it? Can you do a reveal, Paul?
This is just for me. Is it for both of us?
For all of us, yes. All of us here, everyone listening. What is the medium?
Pastel.
Pastel, okay.
Yes. Yeah, pastel is our medium.
So we've got some colour pastels here. And just help yourself. They're shared.
Shared?
Yeah. But I'll let you choose your favourite colours. I'm not precious. I can work with any colour, such as my
I do a lot of art. Some people will know I do art. But I have got oil pastels, which are very difficult to work with. I don't know whether anyone's worked with oil pastels. But I was in the art shop, and I said to them, they said, would you like oil pastels? I said, I've got some already, thank you. And I said, anyway, I don't think oil pastels are really... I said, they're very difficult to blend. It's a nightmare. I said, I don't think it's something a serious artist would use. And they said, I think you'll find Renoir managed.
Good point.
This isn't what the sort of thing that Renoir would have used.
Probably not.
No, because this is pastel pencil as opposed to oil pastel.
Yes. You okay with that?
Oh, yes, thank you.
Good. So you are a bit of an artist, aren't you? You were saying only yesterday you were doing some art with your friend. So this is a familiar territory.
I do art every day. I only started by chance because in my show I have disturbances, which are thoughts from my mind, but on the back is like a picture.
Yeah, it's very...
And I was doing... Anyway, I sort of had these disturbances. This was several years ago, maybe 15 years ago. And on the back, I would just do a picture just to make it look more jolly, And then one time, an audience member said, can I buy that picture? And I said, well, no, it's a prop. I need it for tomorrow. It had never occurred to me, to have
make
art
money.
or anything.
Yeah.
Then he said he said he'd give me all the money in his pocket, which was £13.33. And I thought, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah,
just for doing a picture.
Yeah.
So that's how it started with me doing the art.
And you still do that you sell your illustrations at the end of each show?
Yeah, so I haven't sold any illustrations at the end of any shows for at least 2 years because my latest show, it wasn't right to be selling things after my latest show because it was very personal and spiritual and a lot of people were very moved by it emotionally. It wasn't the right thing to be saying. Sometimes people would come up to me and they'd say, thank you for your show. It really gave me a real boost. And, I have suffered abuse in my childhood, and it really touched me what you did today, and it really has given me hope and stuff. It wouldn't have been right to say, £25. Artworks now, please move along, please move along. So I didn't do anything in the recent one.
Yeah, that sounds like a sound decision. Who here has seen Paul's show Dissolve or watched it? Because I believe it's on YouTube now, isn't it? It's pretty incredible stuff. And I've been following Paul's career for a long time now. We've got to know each other intimately at Glastonbury, when we camped in the same area.
That's actually, I did the show with the smallest number of audience members. That was to you. It was an audience of one.
Yeah.
Because you had the COVID and you had to stay in your tent.
Yeah.
But you didn't want to miss the comedy, so I did a show just for you with one audience member.
Isn't that lovely? Isn't that lovely? I mean, Paul's...
I only did it because you said you had cancer. That was a load of lies.
It was... that was 2022. So I was working backstage at Cabaret, which is like the comedy tent in Glastonbury, if you haven't been before. And my job was interviewing the comedians for the radio and for general social media. Paul and all the other comedians were camping in the same area. Paul arrived, I remember, with a bag full of tinned fish, which he lived off for the whole of Glastonbury weekend, which, not my thing, but his skin looked beautiful by Sunday. And I got ill. I was there primarily to work, but also really looking forward to seeing Paul McCartney, who was headlining on the Saturday. I'd never seen him or any Beatle perform live. That was the only artist that you recognised from the bill, wasn't it, Paul?
Well, most
your classical music,
Beethoven and Brahms and
classical
stuff like
music, man. So anyway,
I know them all right.
I got ill, woke up on the Saturday morning, realised that I was too ill to go and see Macca. And the protocol was to, if you got COVID, this is 2022, you had to stay in your tent. It was a very hot weekend. So it was pretty miserable. And then Paul got wind of this. I might have dropped a couple of hints. Because I wanted to see his show, which was literally 20 yards away, but I was so ill I didn't have the energy to walk around. So Paul very kindly fashioned a little stage out of a crate, parked in front of my tent. We had another comedian introduce him. I was lying in my tent just sweating. And Paul delivered a 20-minute show, which was probably one of the highlights of my Glastonbury. Not just that Glastonbury, but any Glastonbury. I've been to a lot of Glastonburys, and it was a beautiful moment. So I'd like to sort of can we just show our appreciation for that? And yes, I did lie about the cancer. It was just a really lovely thing, Paul. So thanks for doing that. And it made my Glastonbury. But I missed your show. But yeah, back to Dissolve. For those people that didn't.
It's nice to hear that it meant so much to you that I did that performance.
It really did.
For me, it was just like a normal show, but with a lot less laughter.
And that was the thing, it was super funny, obviously. So there's lots of pictures of me take of Paul from the tent, the tent, but there's also lots of pictures of me in the tent just howling with laughter because it was so funny. And it felt, I'm a big fan of Paul, so it felt very special to have him all to myself. Back to Dissolve. So for those people that haven't seen it, you finished touring it now, haven't you, Paul?
Yeah.
So we're not giving away any secrets here.
Well, what I'd say is, if you haven't seen it, I suppose I'd say left it a bit late.
Yeah.
I mean, it went round for 2.5 years, And so if you haven't seen it, then... And also, if you haven't seen it, but you're here to watch me in the podcast, but you've not seen it, I think you've got some serious soul searching to do about what your interest in my comedy is. Because, you've come here especially to see me, because this is podcast featuring me, but you've not seen my latest and critically acclaimed show. So, unless you've had a serious illness or some sort of situation like just recovered from agoraphobia. It's your first time out for 4 years, sort of thing, or some other reason, such as you were going to go and come and see my show a couple of years ago, and then you were going to go with your friend Sandra. And 10 to 7, knock at the door. Must be Sandra. Hello, Sandra. Yes, I'll be there in a minute. Just get my shoes on. Yeah, ready to go to see Portford's show. Looking forward to it. You open the door. It's not Sandra. It's a masked man. And basically taken hostage and spent the last 2 years sort of in a basement with this man. Initially living in fear. Just, what are you going to do? I want to get back to my family. This is, what the police, when they find out, you're just going to make things worse for yourself. Just let me go because it's not going to end well for you. But gradually, that sort of turning towards the sort of mutual sort of sexual feelings between you and the man whose mask has been is off by now, and turns out his name is Brian, and just and then eventually just you and Brian really starting up a sex show that travelled all around East Sussex and was really quite lucrative. Particularly in Lewis, but all sorts of places. And it was billed as the sex show where the sex comes to you. So it would start off with you and Brian behind a screen, and people would peek through. There'd be a little small eye holes they could look through and sort of see what you and Brian were up to, which is, let's face it, pretty standard sort of stuff, It was penetrative, but it wasn't anything particularly unusual. But then the unusual part of the show was that then the paper screen would come open and you'd sort of both kind of have sex with everyone, really. And including one time your husband, who turned up and said, "Look, you've been missing now for 2 years." We were concerned initially because we thought you'd been kidnapped. We didn't know what had happened. You were supposed to go to Portford's show. Sandra's been ever so worried. So much so that Sandra and I have started up initially it was just to comfort each other, but anyway, we have started up a relationship sort of thing. But we've been worried about you. We've reported you to the police as a missing person, and you turn up in a sex show in East Grinstead. So, admittedly, I have some questions to answer, like how come very, very quickly Sandra and I started to get it on together. I mean, you could say, oh, well, it was comfort because I'd lost my wife and so on, but it was within minutes. But I think you've got questions to answer as well. We've all got questions to answer. And there's Sandra's husband, and he joins us both sometimes. We're all discovering new things. I discovered I quite like Sandra's husband's penis last week, But anyway, we're pleased you're all right. But if only you just let us know, it would have saved a lot of worry. But you're all right. But, we're waiting for you back at home. So in that situation, that would be a situation in which you wouldn't have seen my show.
Does that make sense? Everyone following?
But,
Good. Yeah.
But otherwise, why
Yeah.
not?
Why not? It does beg the question. If you haven't seen it, as I said, it's on YouTube. I saw it as a work in progress, I think, at the Caroline in Brunswick. Can you remember that show, Paul?
Yes.
In Brighton, which is famous for its... You can see comedians of Paul's calibre do their work in progress quite cheaply. And it was amazing to watch because I guess I was just expecting, much like your previous shows, just a bit of surrealism and funny stories as you've just shared. But it suddenly got very personal. You talked about your childhood and what had happened to you and a lifelong depression. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
It's just been which has probably got even worse doing this podcast. But anyway, and then you had a moment which
Not now, I should point out. Not depressed now.
you're
That
not
was in the
depressed now,
past.
but you were in the past, and then you had a moment, didn't you? A spiritual awakening. Driving your car up north, wasn't it?
Near Fallowfield. In
Fallowfield.
South Manchester.
For fans of spiritual awakenings, that's where it's at. Can you describe the moment for those people that haven't seen the show and what went on for you and how have you processed that moment since?
Well, it was a moment that was both, it felt extraordinary but ordinary all at once. It felt completely unexpected but completely expected. And when it happened, I just thought, oh, that's my true nature. My true nature is not angry and bitter and irritable. My true nature is one of peace and tranquility and lightness. So it was just it was a sort of awakening, and well, it was an awakening. And the analogy I would give is waking up in the morning. Because sometimes people have said to me, "Oh, did I crash the car? Oh my God, with that happening." But we all wake up in the morning. I mean, so if we're in bed at night and we're having dreams, as we all have dreams, we're all in the dream world. And then if someone were to whisper into your ear, "Wake up," we would say, "Well, don't be silly. I don't need to wake up. This is real. I'm in this, whatever it is. It feels very real." But of course, it's not real. And then when we wake up in the morning, we just wake up. We don't say, "Oh my God, I've woken up. Oh my God, wow, this is reality. Oh my God." We just wake up. And that's what it was like for me that day, because I just realised that all of the previous 48 years and all the years and years of depression and of anxiety were not me. And it wasn't, it was in the past anyway, it didn't really matter, but it wasn't the real me. So that's what it felt like. It felt like waking up, which is the most ordinary thing we all do every single day of the year, or more often if we go to sleep more often than once a day. If you have an afternoon nap, for example, then you can experience it twice a day. And so it was just very ordinary in that sense. And so I had always thought that I'd known about sort of enlightenment or some sort of awakening. I'd heard of things like that. And I knew about the Buddha. I knew he'd done that because he went on about it in various teachings. So I knew about that. But I always thought that was something that would happen in a future. So I thought, well, I haven't got time for it now because I'm so busy with my career and all the things I've got in my life, and also all the problems I had, depression and everything. I thought, well, surely I'll have to get rid of all of those depression and all those things before any kind of awakening can ever happen. So it always felt like something that existed into the future, possibly in a future life. but definitely not for now. But of course, it is for now. Enlightenment is only for now. It can only happen now. We can only wake up now. And that's it.
And did it feel immediate? Did it feel like something had shifted immediately?
Yes, immediately. Yes, I mean, it was just... I just knew that everything was different. And that's why... So that's why my first test, this is real, it's in the show, I say this, but it's real. My first test of it was, can I call my mother? So I did. And then she said, I haven't got my hearing aid put in, Paul. And, hang on, reception's going and all of that. That went on for about 15 minutes before she even started. When she did start, it was about someone I've never met, this woman, and about, and you've never met Jackie, but the other day, it's ever so funny. And it was not funny at all. It was like, and I was with Jackie, and then, but you haven't met, I don't think you know Jackie. No, I haven't met her. I've never, ever met Jackie, ever. Because, she put her shopping bag down, and I put my shopping bag down, and, it's ever so funny, you won't believe it. But then, when she picked her one up, she thought that it was the other shopping, she almost went off with the wrong shopping. It was like that. But interspersed with, I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Paul, can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you, Mother. Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Sorry, Paul. I'm losing you. Can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you. Followed by, hang on, sorry. I didn't have my hearing aid in. It must have dropped out. That happened several times throughout the conversation. But I just listened very patiently. Not patience, the wrong word, just very presently listened and just enjoyed the story, really. And that's when I thought, that's the ultimate test of spiritual enlightenment, isn't it? If you can call your mother, listen to all that absolute rubbish. And then, so that's how I knew, really. That's the method I use to check.
Yeah, it's a good advice there for the audience. And prior to that, had you done therapy or counselling or stuff like that?
I had done counselling and therapy, and they all took their roles, played their roles, because that kind of got me closer to, that all, and other things also had a role. For example, I'd read that book by Eckhart Tolle Tolle.
Yeah,
who's written that book called The Power of Now about spirit. It's called A Guide to Spiritual Enlightenment. And I had read that book and I found it really, really irritating. And it used to make me feel really, really angry when I read it. And I used to just get really angry with him. But the thing about his book is that it's quite repetitive. His book, he repeats the same points over and over again in different ways. And I think the reason he's doing that is because he's wanting to find just the key. He wants to find the key that's going to open your door. So he's finding the thing that will resonate with, everyone will resonate with different things. So he's finding something that will resonate. And I'd read that book several years earlier, so it wasn't immediate, but that was obviously resonating in some way in my head. So that's one of the things. Other things that were involved were the things was having a huge low the night before. Suffering. They say that suffering is one of the ways towards awakening.
That's a Buddhist thing, isn't it? I think.
So there was lots of suffering, although not always. I know people who've just sort of shuffled into that sort of state without so much suffering. There's no rule. And other things that were involved was the M6 being closed the night before. That really, really pissed me off so much because the sat-nav kept saying, turn round and go to the M6. And I was like, the M6 is closed. What's the point of having a sat-nav that doesn't know the M6 is closed. And then I was just driving around Lancaster, and it just wouldn't let it go. It wouldn't like sort of run with it and think, okay, he's obviously not wanting to go to the M6, let's find another way. That really, really annoyed me, and I got really angry on the outskirts of Lancaster and just started screaming in some suburban street. I was just screaming, like that. And I was just like, I hate my life so much, I can't live like this anymore. And of course, and the other thing is that I had no choice, in a way, but for there to be some sort of enlightenment, because I had boxed myself in. So I know that of people who have... I know of someone who just felt really, really low and just said that he planned to end his life and went to sleep. And when he woke up, everything was different. So, in other words, so he had boxed himself in that way. And sort of it was a bit like that with me, because I had been on medication, but I'd come off the medication, I'd sort of got worse, really. And then a friend of mine said... I had promised this friend that if I ever felt really, really low, that I would go straight back on the medication. No questions, no messing around. Just go straight on it. And we could finesse the details later. And so that night, the night before, was very low. So really, if I was going to be true to my word to him, I had to do so. But and the only reason I didn't that night is because my medication was 250 miles away down the road, and I had to stay in Manchester for the night. And then the next day, when I got in my car at 4:59 p.m. on the 20th of March, 2022, when I got in the car, I knew that I'd have to go back on the medication. There was no way I could not go on it because I'd promised my friend. But at the same time, I really, really didn't want to go on it. It has kind of side effects, and I just did not want my life to be being on those pills, that medication anymore. So, but they were mutually exclusive things. You're either on them or you're not on them. You can't half be on them. So that was two things that I was sort of between a rock and a hard place. And then the other thing is that I had ruled out suicide. This is very dark what we're saying. But I had ruled it out some years before because obviously if someone commits suicide, it causes so much sadness. And there'll be many, many people who'll be very, very sad. But I knew that there would be 4 people in particular whose lives would be absolutely ripped apart if I were to do that. I'm completely ripped to shreds. So I had ruled that out. So therefore I got in my car and I had a choice of going on the pills or not going on the pills. And they'd been both ruled out. Suicide had been ruled out, so I had to be alive. So there was no other choice. What other possible logical choice is there? If that was like a Mensa question, what is the other logical choice? The only one left is to suddenly get better completely and utterly. That's the only choice left. And that's exactly what happened. So I had tricked my brain, my mind, my ego. I had tricked it and given it no choice. And suddenly that was it. And then suddenly there was all of creation for about 3 seconds. All of creation passed through me. And then it was all gone. And then the attachment with the ego was gone. There is still some ego to an extent, I suppose. But not really. There's no attachment like there was before. Everything is fundamentally changed. Completely. That's how I would describe it.
I'm going to clap. It's lovely. It's so lovely to hear. It's so lovely to hear, Paul. And I think that was the year that you performed in front of my tent. And you seem like a happy soul.
2022?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that year, yes.
Yeah. How are you getting on with your portrait, by the way? Because I think I'm done.
Yeah, I think I'm finished.
Well, if you want to rip it off.
I just got to write the name of the person whose picture it is. That's you.
That's me. And I'm going to take this off so the audience can't see it. And then we'll do the self-portraits with a new medium. I guess the other thing I wanted to ask, like hearing that story, was, you know, you've made a living out of being a comedian and performing. So how hard was it performing constantly when you're feeling low?
Well, it's quite hard performing when you're low, but then on the other hand, I didn't know what else to do. You know, that's just what I'd always done.
Yeah.
I think in a way, I probably wouldn't be a comedian if I hadn't been so ill. But because my career was going so badly for such a long time, for many, many years, and I think anyone who'd been well in the mind would have just said, look, that's enough, give up now. But because I wasn't, I just carried on. So, but yes, it wasn't easy. But then, you know, there's lots of people in lots of other jobs, and they may be depressed. Maybe they're an accountant, they feel depressed. I think I'd rather be a depressed comedian than a depressed accountant, because I find it more interesting being in show business than doing accounts, fundamentally.
Yeah, fair point.
So in a way, I mean, there is a sort of myth, I don't know whether it's a myth, but there's a sort of idea, isn't there, that comedians are depressed. But not sure that's true, because having met many, many comedians, there are many comedians. Some are comedians who do have terrible depressions. But when I had the depression I had, most comedians didn't have what I had. I was different. I was worse than them. I was fundamentally more unstable and fundamentally much more likely to... Technically speaking, I didn't suffer from depression. Technically speaking, I suffered from anxiety. But the anxiety caused depression, to be technical about it. And I was never bipolar. There was never any highs. It was more just going along in the middle. But then sometimes something would knock me off balance. And instead of just being a little bit down, I would be right down. Mm. But now I'm almost impervious to any ups or downs, really. I'm always exactly the same all the time, really. That's nice to hear. Because, I mean, you were, as a fan and as someone that's seen you perform many times, I never would have... You always delivered, basically, every time I saw you perform. But I guess for that time on stage when you're getting the love and the validation, and you're talking about ego, and that all feels good, I'm guessing, for a time. But also comedians spend a lot of time on the road, don't they, in hotels. And so I guess that what it was like, kind of getting a bit of feel-good factor from the stage. And then... I was never one of those comedians. Some comedians are. But I was never one of those comedians who did it because it made me feel better, particularly. And when I started comedy, when I was in my early 20s, and I knew I was depressed, I said to myself then, when I started, that this is not therapy. If I need therapy, that's separate. So, of course, it's nice being on stage and everyone's applauding. But no, I was never someone who would sort of, I don't know, take that in, and it was like made me feel good for a bit. It was just something I happened to do. It's just, it's an illusion. I don't know, all comedians are different. But I think that for me, to be a comedian, you have to be selfless. It's not about you. It's about the audience, and it's about serving them. And it's about doing what you need to do to make them happy. Sometimes as a comedian, you can feel a little bit uncomfortable sometimes, or feel sometimes you have to remind yourself, it doesn't feel as relaxed as last night, wherever last night was. It feels more, I feel like I'm having to work harder for the laughs. But then you have to remember, it's not about how I feel, it's about how the audience feel. And then you have to think, yes, it's the audience, they're enjoying it. It's a bit quieter than last night, but they're having a great time. And you have to remember how they feel. So it's not really about how you feel at all. So you're just serving them. So it was just something I happened to do, really. That was just my job, was being a comedian. But I didn't really, different comedians are different, but I never really fed off that energy all that much. Before what happened to me, I would in fact often be quite low. In fact, the very night before this awakening for me, I had done a show in Carlisle that had gone very well. I did a full 1.5 hours, including, plus an interval, so 2 hours with an interval. I did the whole show. I opened, I did the main bit as well. And I had done a very, very good job. But I think I'd made a very minor mistake in the performance. And I really beat myself up about it. Like, I've made this, and not even the audience, they wouldn't even have noticed. But I was really angry with myself that I'd made this very minor mistake. So I never really had any big highs after shows. They were more just lows, where I would focus on some minor error I'd made or some minor thing that could have gone better. That's all really I had then. Now, when I perform, I'm just more or less on the same level. So I perform, and then after I've performed, I think I function on much less adrenaline than most comedians. It's not that much adrenaline. I'm just doing it. I enjoy it, but I'm being a technician and I'm doing the job. And then afterwards, I'm just quite calm, and I did that. And maybe I could have done that better, and maybe that was really good. But I don't really analyse it too much other than what might be helpful for next time. And that's it. I'm just on a level, really.
That sounds like a healthy place to be. We're ready for the self-portraits.
Oh, self-portrait.
Do you want to choose another medium?
Oh, yes.
So another medium of art.
The medium is acrylic pens.
Acrylic pens. Thank God. I hate acrylic paints when it comes up because there's a hell of a lot of washing up to do afterwards. But acrylic pens we can go with. Nick Helm, who I know you know from the comedy circles.
Yes.
Loved this medium so much. He'd never used it before. He went home and bought some, and that he's just all over it now.
I'm glad he went and bought some. I'd thought more like to steal them.
Which I can show you after.
He's a very, very nice man.
He is lovely.
He's a wonderful comedian. I wouldn't trust him. I wouldn't trust him with anything like money or objects.
Pens,
anything of any material worth. Keep it out of his hands, because he will take anything. He's on the take the whole time. He just wants to steal things. Not just that, girlfriends, boyfriends. He'll if he sees something, he'll take it if he wants it.
Yeah.
He's
glad you said that, because I had an inkling.
Yeah.
So this is a self-portrait. Funnily enough, when we got to this bit...
Horses. He stole a horse from me.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I had a pet pony. He stole it.
Really?
And then he just didn't. Oh no, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I said, I've literally got CCTV of him approaching the field, and then CCTV of him driving a horse box away from it. But, he's got expensive lawyers, and it's all like you can't prove that the actual he was involved in the horse sort of rustling part of it.
Hard to prove. That
stuff. Very hard to prove.
Yeah.
It's like a slippery eel.
Yeah.
Nothing, you can't prove it. But I know.
You know.
And he'll be listening to this. He'll be listening to this, and I will face I will face legal action from him because
Yeah.
of what I've said,
Yeah.
and I'll probably lose my house.
Yeah.
You know, to him, he will. I'll probably owe him hundreds of thousands of pounds in damages for saying this. You know, that's what it's like.
But it needs to be said.
But it's been said.
Yeah.
And I think that's important.
That is important.
Because
Nick,
otherwise, people like that think they can get away with it.
Exactly.
Which
yeah.
they can. They can get away with it, and he has.
Yeah.
He has consistently. He has consistently got away with it.
Yeah.
As I say, he stole a horse from me.
Yeah.
He stole a horse, a small briefcase,
Right.
and £350 spending money.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, and I was on blankety blank. Yeah, and they said Paul Foot, you were going for a holiday in Cyprus.
Yeah.
They said it's all expenses paid.
Yeah.
British Airways flights out to Cyprus with £1,000 spending money in an all-inclusive hotel. I thought that's great.
Sounds great.
Well, I made the mistake of I was backstage. I told Nick Helm about it. Well, you can guess who's been on the holiday.
Yeah.
And he sent me photographs of himself on the holiday.
That's just
sort of
rubbing it in, isn't it?
Rub it in,
Yeah.
Yeah, and on some of them he's on horseback on my horse. Yeah. Which he's now sold. He has sold my horse to a Cypriot family.
Right.
For 500 rupees. I don't know why, because that's not the currency.
That's
of
not
Cyprus.
the currency, yeah. That was
But
the
that's
first
the currency he used.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing about Nick Helm. He always buys and sells in rupees. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a bureau de change.
Right.
In some ways, you know.
Yeah.
That's the because I've said a lot of negative stuff about him. But on the plus side,
yeah.
you know, if you want to exchange money urgently. He will literally, because he has like a comedy book with all his comedy ideas in. But
I've seen it, yeah.
And you turn the page over, it's got a list of exchange rates.
Right, okay.
Latest rates for the day.
Yeah.
And you just bring whatever currency you want and exchange it. It's not the best rate of exchange, of course not. But,
No.
you know, if you're urgently needing, you know, whatever it is, you know, Polish zloty,
Yeah.
and you're in a hurry, Nick Helm's your man.
Nick's your man, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's sort of my take of him, you know, as a person.
Okay. Didn't come out on the podcast, but it's good to know.
Well, it wouldn't do, would it?
No. That's a dark side
That's
of him.
not something he's going to mention.
No. When we came to the self-portrait bit with Nick Helm, he said he had very little idea what he looked like. He said he hadn't looked in the mirror for a long time.
It's about time he took a long, hard stare in the mirror.
I'm glad you said that, Paul. How about you? Do you spend a lot of time in the mirror? I mean, when you came to the restaurant tonight, I was struck by and I have always struck by your style. I love your style. I don't know if you can see his shoes, but you might see them later. But he's got some beautiful gold shoes on, an all-in-one red suit, as you can see, and I think that I was first drawn to your magnificent hair.
There's something I noticed with you as well, like all the constant sexual comments throughout the meal. You know, I kind of noticed that. You know,
Yeah.
It was something that, you know, at one stage I was trying to eat some. It was a light green Thai curry.
Yeah.
And you were just going over and over again about, oh, but you've got a big one and all this sort of stuff. So I found sort of a bit off-putting, but, you know, I'm always happy to get a compliment.
Yeah. Sorry if that was constant. I didn't.
Oh, that's all right. You know.
Didn't realise it came across like that. But have you got any influences in terms of your style? Did you ever sort of look at a certain style or certainly era and thought, I want a bit of that?
Well, that's interesting. I suppose it's interesting actually with styles because years and years ago, this must have been 20 years ago, I was with this management company and they said, we're going to restyle you because I used to just wear like jeans and a T-shirt.
Yeah.
So, and I remember going to this styling day and they said, with a stylist, so what's the brief? And I said, eccentric English lord. And from that, I got various things like tailcoats and bow ties and sort of checked trousers and two-toned brogues and various things, and cravats and all sorts of stuff, and velvet jackets, and then it was interesting because that was just for the stage, but then maybe I wasn't going on the stage, but I had a meeting, say with Channel 4 or something, so I'd think, well, I've got a meeting, so I better wear the sort of professional clothes,
make an impression. And
then there would be another time when I think, well, if I'm going to the meeting and I've got a whole load of other things to do all day, I might as well just wear that all day. And then, gradually, and then sometimes I wouldn't have a meeting at all, but I'd just wear those clothes. But it was interesting because when you wear different clothes, you sort of become that person in a way. Changes who you are slightly. And then since then, I've had 2 or 3 restyles and worn different clothes. But obviously you're the same person, really. But when you wear different clothes, it makes you feel different and you kind of act differently.
Totally agree
in a strange way.
Yeah.
So it's sort of it's quite an interesting process.
Yeah.
Of wearing different clothes.
So is this something you wear because you're on stage tonight? What would you wear at home?
Well, if I was just at home, I'd just wear my pajamas.
Okay. Fair enough.
But if I was, sometimes when I'm at home, I have other clothes that I wear, but only within like 1/2 mile of my home. Sort of nearby kind of clothes.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just wear my shorts.
Yeah. It's got some good legs. Don't know if you've seen Paul's. That's probably coming across as sexual to you now, isn't it?
Well, it's sort of, it isn't, just because I've had so much sexual stuff earlier that was so much more explicit. In a way, that's sort of less.
Yeah.
Yes, well, I got different outfits. I have this boiler suit, and I've got 3 other colours. And sometimes I wear my shorts, my sort of holiday clothes, my shorts, my shirt, and my cravat. And sometimes I wear my shirt and my. But I've been wearing my shirt and my tie and my jackets recently again.
Okay.
Which is my look from before.
Yeah.
I kind of don't like it so much anymore now. Doesn't feel like me so much.
Okay.
I feel more like I like to be in my boiler suit.
Yeah.
Than to be in a shirt with a tie and a leather jacket.
And what's under the boiler suit?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, obviously, quite a large penis, as you've been saying.
Yeah.
Throughout the meal, but you'd know that because you've already discussed it at the meal.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. Nothing else, really.
Nothing else. Commando, is that what they call that?
Oh, and I have got,
I have got pants.
Yeah, I've got
Keep the things, undergarments.
I've got garments under.
It's a great look. Are you enjoying chatting? And because a lot of guests struggle with the chatting and drawing at the same time.
It is difficult, but I find a good way of combining the chat with the art is to not care about how the art goes.
Yeah.
And also not to care how the chat goes either.
Yeah.
And that way it just takes 2 big pressures off.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of enjoy it more.
Yeah.
So in answer to question, no. No, and in answer to questions over the meal, no. In answer to your other question you asked over the main course, yes, I do, and also, no, I won't. And in answer to your question you asked as we were leaving the restaurant, I think it was earlier, but not anymore.
Okay. Well, thanks for clearing that up. I want to talk to you about. I remember you doing when you've popped up on the telly. I think first time I think I saw you on telly was on. I think it was Nevermind the Buzzcocks. You were sat with you on Noel Fielding's team, and I know that you two.
That was fun. That show.
Yeah, that was a really good show, and you could tell. I didn't know at the time. You two are friends, and he's directed your show, hasn't he, in the past?
Yes, back in 2010.
Yeah, but you could tell even on that show there was a lovely rapport from you
and also with Phil Jupiter's.
Yes.
I mean, they were so. The thing about that show is when you go on television shows, they're often quite cutthroat, and it's all sort of, what Beatle follows this word, and everyone says, can you think of something that would not be a good thing to say at your sister's wedding? Oh, I've always fancied you. Oh, that's the first one. And the other one is, oh, I've always fancied your husband. Oh, that's another answer. All those things.
Yeah.
It's all kind of cutthroat, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got to have the answers. And if it doesn't cut through with the audience, which those didn't, then then you're out, sort of thing.
Well, that was
brutal.
Yeah, that was my next question, because I wondered where you fit into those panel shows.
Buzzcocks was so.
You enjoyed that, didn't you?
It was so.
You look like you enjoyed it.
It was so generous. For example, once I was talking about something, and it was this silly story about someone who used to be who was a Liberal MP, and anyway, I said he got me a gin and tonic, but not in a gay way. And then, so if it was another show, someone would have jumped in with, "Oh, how do you order a gin and tonic in a gay way?" and then done a thing.
Yeah.
But I think Noel said, "Oh, how would you order a gin and tonic in a gay way, Paul?" And then that allowed me to do a thing and get all the laughs for ordering a gin and tonic in a gay way. And then Phil, so again, if Phil could have just jumped in, but Phil then said, "Oh, and how would you do it in a straight way, Paul?" And that allowed me to do another funny thing. So it was very, very generous.
Generous comedy.
And you don't often see that kind of generosity on television, because it's nearly always so cutthroat.
Yeah. I mean, that's the feeling I get from TV shows like Mock the Week. It feels very competitive and very quick. And I wondered, how that felt for a comedian like you when you need a bit of space and a bit of freedom and a bit of able to go off on a tangent, which you did so well on that show.
Yes, it was helped, of course, by, I mean, in one of or a couple of the recordings, we had Rod Gilbert, who is the host, and he's a fan of mine and comes to my shows sometimes. We had Phil, who's also a fan, and Noel, a fan, so it obviously that does help,
Yeah. And what TV shows have you really not enjoyed?
I think I've enjoyed all of them, really. There was one where there was no studio audience, and it was just like it was like a panel of us, and we all had to discuss it, but there was no audience. And it was just, it went on and on. That was so boring.
What was that show called? Do you remember?
It was never shown. Because
it was so boring.
Because one of them refused to sign the... Because when you do a TV show, at the end, they give you the release form.
Yeah.
And it's just an understanding in the industry. It's a complete understanding that you sign it. You don't not sign the release form. You're a professional performer, and you've been on. It's a verbal agreement. It's a formality. You sign the thing. But one of them refused to sign it, so that never got shown.
Wow, that's quite unheard of. I guess you can't say who.
No, I can't say who because for legal reasons, and also because I've forgotten who it was.
Okay. How are you getting away? I can't believe it, but we've had an hour of chat already. I feel like we could talk forever. We will have a little...
I'm nearly finished.
Are you nearly finished?
Yeah, just got a few more colour on.
It's been lovely chatting to you, Paul. I've just...
Oh, thanks, Guy. It's been nice talking to you too, as well as doing art. Thank you.
Yeah. And I had, apart from your little gig outside my tent that year at Glastonbury, I just remember laughing so much during that whole period before I got ill, obviously. But just seeing you around the campsite and hanging outside the Portait, that's another story. But just your energy around that time, bearing in mind now in context of what had happened a few months previously with your awakening. But you were just such a joy to hang out with, and your unique take on Glastonbury. You weren't really interested in any of the music, were you? You liked the circus area.
I like to go see the circus.
Yeah. And it was...
and I liked going to Block 9, which is sort of nightclub bit.
Yeah.
What I liked about it wasn't really the music, but the fact everyone was so polite. Like, I went there once at 5 in the morning and I was completely sober. I'd just woken up, actually, from a sleep. And then there were people all drunk and maybe on other substances. And they were all crazy and all out of it. And then one of them bumped into me and sort of knocked me on the ground. And then it was like, I'm so sorry. I really am. Are you all right? Oh, I do apologise for knocking you. It was all like terribly polite.
And you appreciated that?
Yeah, that was my favourite bit of of the nightclub part.
Yeah.
Just watching people knock into you and then be really polite.
Yeah. And I think when the year that we were camping together, I think you had a previous Glastonbury, but I think that was, you enjoyed that part of it, didn't you? Like I say, you weren't that bothered about the music, but there was something, I always feel like reborn a bit after Glastonbury because it feels so respectful, that amount of people in a field just getting on really well. And it kind of inspires me to think the world could be a better place. And then, of course, and that lasts for about a week after Glastonbury, and then it just gets back to, normal. But it's a bit of a playground, isn't it? I think you had some good adventures. You look like you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah, it was quite fun. Yeah, you can just walk anywhere and you might think, I'll just literally go over there 200 yards away. But then you end up never getting there. And then 12 hours later, you're in some completely unexpected part.
But then we also talked in the restaurant how we didn't go this year and we didn't miss it. Interestingly.
I didn't mind not going.
Yeah.
I was just doing whatever I was doing, something else.
Because it can be exhausting. How are you getting on, Paul? I think I've finished. I can't add much more to this.
Yeah, I'm just going to sign it now.
You sign it. Sign away. So, we will auction all these self-portraits off at the end of the year. And if anyone wants to bid on my Gail Porter, anyone? It can be a silent bid. It's fine. So we'll do that. We've only got a couple of podcasts left. Your friend, Tors, who is the singer from Billy No Mates. Tors, I should say, yeah, is a good friend of Paul. She's on the next podcast.
I mean, that's how you should say it if you want to say it correctly.
Yeah.
I mean, you should say what you want, but there's two ways of saying her name.
Yeah.
One is Tor,
yeah,
and the other is Tors. Now, the difference is, to be technical about it, is Tor is the correct way of saying her name because that is her name.
Okay.
And Tors is the incorrect way of saying her name because that is not her name.
Okay.
And no one has ever
called her Tors
at any point in her whole life, including when she suffered severe bullying at school.
Yeah.
Including when she was ostracised by an aunt who turned against her and ultimately tried to frame her for murder. None of them have ever called her Tors.
I'm the first.
So the sort of the clue.
Yeah.
The clue to how to pronounce her name is in the repeated fact that every time I said Tors, I said, no, that's not her name. Her name is Tor.
Tor.
And when you said Tor, I said, that's right, Tor.
Go with that.
So that's the sort of clue.
Okay.
That's the clue.
Yeah.
And that's also the explanation.
Good advice going into that podcast. Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, so that's her name.
Okay. Thank you. No research needed. Should we do a reveal? You're just going to sign yours.
I'm just writing self-portrait.
Okay. Just to make it clear. So this is, when we do reveal the art, it's much like comedy when a comedian's doing, a joke. It's kind of, the response from the audience is instant. Do you know what I mean? Like, we know.
Instantaneous.
Yeah, we know that as soon as we...
Coffee is instant, isn't it? But
yeah.
Coffee can be instant, but their response will surely be instantaneous. It's not instant. It's not like a coffee.
Instantaneous.
Yeah, instantaneous response. Unless you're talking about instantaneous coffee.
Yeah.
Which is a totally different... That's when you just think, I'd love a coffee. And just like, psh,
Yeah.
It just appears on the table.
Yeah.
That's instantaneous coffee. Instantaneous coffee. That's only in like Harry Potter and like things like that. It's not a real thing.
Okay.
Whereas instant coffee is when you mix the granules in and the hot water. Takes actually a while.
Yeah.
Actually, because you've got to heat the water up. It's not actually instantaneous at all. With the response from the audience tonight, I think it's more likely to be an instantaneous response rather than an instant. I don't think it's going to be one where we're going to need to like boil water up.
Okay.
And sort of wait 5 minutes, then sort of think, oh, that's the response of the audience.
Yeah. It's going to be instantaneous.
Instantaneous,
Yeah,
I'd have thought so.
Should we do...
But I'm not an expert.
You're no expert.
I'm not an expert. I'm not telling you what's right or wrong. I'm just giving my opinions.
Okay. Shall we do... Let's do our portrait first. Shall we? The first drawing that we did, which was from the pastel pen. So do you want to do yours, Paul? So this is Paul's picture of me. We'll get a... round of applause. That's good. That was a good instantaneous response. Can I have a quick look, Paul? So, oh, wow. Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you. Flattered. That's my, if you see, that's my one of Paul. Thank you.
Oh, that's nice.
Thank you. Maybe it made you look a bit older than you are, but
I think it'd be a good one for my deathbed.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe when they announce your death, they could use that.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good one. Let's say I die maybe, let's say about 90.
Yeah.
Say I die at 90. And then they could say, oh, because 90 is old, but it's not really old.
No, you could have
and even when people die at 90, people are sad and they say, oh, if only you could have lived longer.
Another 10
and
years.
we could put that picture above the coffin and people say that's what he would have looked like if he'd had a longer life.
Okay, yeah.
If he'd lived into his hundreds, would have looked like that sort of thing.
All right, well, I'll keep hold of that for
and
that.
so we could put that when I'm dead, we put that on the coffin.
Yeah.
And then we can burn it.
Okay. Okay, well, I'll keep hold of that for that occasion. It's going to be of some use. So let's do this is the self-portrait, Paul. Do you want to do your self-portrait? Oh, wow, look at this. That is something that I would bid on. I think that's beautiful. It really captures your essence, your joy, your happiness, eccentricity. It's all there. I don't know what this has captured. This is my self-portrait.
Oh.
I've used the blues, to kind of, Paul, we've had a lovely time.
That picture you've done of yourself,
Yeah.
it reminds me a bit of, was it Paul Marat? Was that his name? The one who, just before the French Revolution, he was murdered in the bath. Yeah,
Yeah, I think the audience are kind of...
Yeah, it reminds me... Yes. It's a bit like a cross between you and that man. I think he was called Marat. Marat was his name, and he was murdered in the bath just before the French Revolution at a time of great economic instability.
Yeah.
Sort of it's a cross between you and him in that. I see a lot of that historical figure in that picture.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, whereas actually, in terms of you as a person, you remind me much more of King Louis XVI.
Right.
You have that vibe.
Yeah.
A sort of pre-French Revolution vibe. I mean, they say with the French Revolution, in many ways, he was the wrong man at the wrong time, wasn't he? He really the taxation system needed to be changed and needed to be updated in France, and King Louis XVI wasn't the man to really drive through those reforms, and the clergy and the aristocracy, they dragged their feet about any reforms, and he just didn't really have the gumption to really push through those reforms. He was a man without that backbone, and he was sad in a way that and then he had his head cut off. And you remind me very much of him, you know,
Right.
remind me of him in terms of, I don't think if you had been around pre-French Revolution in a position of power that you'd have been much good.
Yeah, I think it's a valid point. Yeah.
I mean, that's not good. I don't think I would have been either. I mean,
Right.
it's a very rare person
Yeah.
who would have been able to be the person to push through those reforms. But it wouldn't have been you, I can tell you that.
Paul, it's been a delight. Let's give it up for Paul Foots. Thank you, Paul. The Portrait Guy podcast is proudly sponsored by Dental Health Spa, 124 Guest House and Sabai Thai Restaurant. Thai chefs using traditional Thai recipes and sourcing local Thai ingredients for the best Thai in town.